Free the Krug!
Free the Krug!
Free the Krug!
Welcome to the Stonebridge Jail. Do you have business?
I've come to a decision.
I will enact whatever outcome you deem appropriate. Please enunciate carefully.
He's no Krug. He's a human. He should be released and given the full rights and protections of a legal citizen.
Very well. The Krug will be set loose and monitored for his protection until he has integrated with the city or been stoned.
I wasn't certain that the Legion had truly returned, but after witnessing your resolution of the plight of the oppressed Krug proletariat, it caused a great imbalance in my sanguine humors. Fairly had me bursting with them. Now then, we have much to accomplish. Shall we get started?
What in the world are you talking about?
Oh my, do forgive me. I mistook you for a Collegium woman. I meant only that it made me proud, whilst at the same time risking distempers of the blood. Now then, much to do, much to do. Shall we be off?
What do you mean by we have much to do?
Yes, we. First person plural, in this case collective. I could lend you this excellent book on grammar, but wait, I'm forgetting my manners. I am Reinhard Manx, scholar, inventor, and sartorial adventurer. I have degrees in advanced thaumaturgical studies and non-Goblinian geometry. Naturally, I also have a grounding in the classics, but more importantly to you, I am descended from the Grand Mage Merrick, a legionnaire through and through.
That would make him Merrick's last descendant then. In the old stories, Merrick was always more interested in making magic than, well, children.
Well, needless to say, it's been my dream to reunite with other children of the 10th. Second only to the dream of a thaumaturgical waistcoat that can change its color and cut to match the latest season's fashions.
How have you lived in Stonebridge all this time? I thought this town had a bad history.
Had I trumpeted my lineage, we would have seen democracy in action. The ballot would have been whether I would be lynched or dissected, but still, I used to dream that the Legion would rise up from the ashes. But I also dream of square circles, so make of that. The people of Stonebridge may have committed a terrible crime against the Legion, but I think it's time to forgive and rebuild.
Forgiveness is an old virtue of the Legion. I'd say you're...
In all my studies of time, I found that you can coil it, twist it, bend it, but it always unwinds the same way. Hatred can't undo the past, so why hold a grudge? Why bother defending Ebb if you can't accept that it's people? And of course, forgiveness facilitates the open exchange of ideas. It's hard to have a symposium with a lynch mob.
If you have Legion blood, why didn't you join us at the gathering?
Oh, you mean the invitation calculated to lure all the Legion descendants into one place? You must be joking. That was obviously a trap. One would have to be suicidal, or at least a great buffoon, to walk into that sort of setup. Oh my, do forgive me. I should have realized. I meant no offense. But in any case, no, I regretfully declined when that letter arrived.
You said you were a scholar, but have you seen any combat?
I'm hardly the mage that my great-grandfather was, but I was best in my class when it came to channeling and energy I may possess a physique best described as suety, but by application of higher non-Goblinian mathematics, I could rip a man in half with a thought. Well, theoretically I could. It's not as though I practice on people. That would be rather rude, and mildly illegal, but mostly rude.
We need everyone in the Legion to join forces. Are you with us?
Am I with you? Does the thaumaturgical constant Q trend towards infinity for given values of the human soul? The answer is yes, by the way. The Legion needs to stand together, lest we fade into memory. So without further ado, let's be off.
I should thank you for resolving the matter of the Krug. Such a small issue, but it required an outside voice.
Do you have another problem for me to...
Yes, I do. Baron is a wealthy landowner with a claim to many parcels of land here in town. He wants to charge rent to Han. Hans has an equally compelling claim to the plot of land. Mudgutter informs me it's a case of eminent domain versus original acquisition. With the court deadlocked, both have agreed to let you settle their dispute. I'll have them meet you at the chapter house.
warms my heart to see the great gears turning again. Wonderful piece of industry.
Please comply with all local laws and customs. Please do not litter or excrete in alleyways.
They're here. I'm Hans. This is Baron. We have a disagreement, and we decided we'd abide by whatever decision you make.
Indeed. Years ago, the Legion settled disputes, and Hans and I have a conundrum that Stonebridge law can't resolve.
We have a moment to listen to your dispute. Since you're both willing to abide by the decision, we'll mediate as best we can.
I purchased a parcel of land 15 years ago, and have been selling my wares for ages. The Baron here tells me I owe him rent.
You see, I bought large tracts of land back in the days of the farmer. Hans was taken by a charlatan. I certainly didn't authorize the sale.
Yes, well, you did nothing to stand up for your claim to the land. After endless talk with the barristers, we're still deadlocked.
Hans, can you explain why exactly you think your claim...
My purchase to the land was vetted and signed by the city of Stonebridge. They failed to research the land's original ownership. But even so, I can claim the right of eminent domain. I've used the land for over 10 years, with no argument from the original owner. I feel terrible that the Baron's land was sold out from under him, but he had ample time to correct this mistake.
Baron, tell me more about your...
By right of original acquisition, the law says the land is mine. I bought it first. Sure, it was human lifetimes ago, but I am an old goblin, so years pass like months for me. I didn't notice Hans had set up shop and claimed my land. I think I'm being fair. He owes me rent for the last several years, and if he wants to stay, he...
I see. The laws are indeed at an
So what will it be? Is the land indeed mine, or does this human get to claim it?
The land wasn't Hans's to buy, but the Baron did nothing to protect his claim. You must divide the property or buy out the other's stake.
I guess that's about as fair a ruling as you could make. Also a coward's decision. But I said I'd honor it, so I will.
I can't fit my shop on half of that parcel. But I suppose I should be happy for anything. Thank you for taking the time to arbitrate this.
A deal is a deal. Hans, let's go figure out which half is yours and which is mine. Hopefully we don't need someone to arbitrate that.
I should apologize. I left traps and wards to guard this place. They were meant for looters, not for you.
You visited the chapter house?
Quite the opposite. I avoided this. It seemed wrong to set foot here, when all my brothers and sisters could not.
It's all right. You were trying to protect...
Jane buried the Legionnaires in a mass grave outside of town. This chapter house was as close a thing to a monument as they...
Martin insists that I stay behind. Too old for another war.
This should prove a fascinating educational opportunity. And also a fight for our lives, of course. Got one! That shrine is very old. Late Imperial Age, I think. And you didn't even need more than a mild bleaching.
I am in your debt.
Be welcome, friend. This is the Abbey of St. Hiram. Sister Eleanor will want to meet you. I think she's praying in the chapel. Sister Eleanor will want to meet you. I think she's praying in the chapel.
Sister Eleanor can help you. I'm new to the Abbey.
I was in the Abbey Tower and I saw the old causeway come to life. You're Legionnaires. I'm glad you made it here safely. Not everyone does. Not even the ones who are armed as well as you.
I fought undead monsters in the desert. Is this place under some kind of curse?
Yes, but it's always been like this. Centuries ago, long before the monks built the Abbey, this was a religious center, a refuge for an Azanite patriarch and his followers who came here from the Empire of Stars. Then they turned to heresy, and the Legion was sent to destroy them. Now they haunt the ruins, sometimes asleep, sometimes not.
Not to be rude, but you're a lot more hospitable than the other Azunites I've met.
When Jane rose to power, the monks of this abbey turned away from her church. We do our work in Azunai's name, not Jane's. I'm sure she'd like nothing better than to teach us all a lesson in obedience. Fortunately, she's very busy, and very far away.
I came here to find someone. His name is Etienne Dumarnay.
The Legion hero, yes. He was here, but that was years ago. He went into the vault under the Abbey. No one ever saw him again. And the vault is sealed. We don't know how to get inside.
There's a vault under the Abbey?
Yes, but it's much older than the Abbey. It was built at the same time as the ruins in the desert. The vault was the reason that Dumarnay was here. I wish I could tell you what became of him.
We were told that Dumarnay was here, waiting for us. Maybe he got out of the vault.
No one at the Abbey has seen him, but if you want to know for sure, only one person could tell you, our former abbot. His name was Simeon. He showed Dumarnay how to get into the vault. They went inside together, but only Simeon came out.
Dumarnay was looking for something here. What's inside the vault?
The greatest treasure of the faith. We don't know anything more about it apart from the name. I've lived all my life at this abbey. I've read every book I could find, and none of them gave me so much as a clue. That must be what Dumarnay was after.
Is this Simeon still alive?
I think so. He abandoned the abbey years ago. Now he lives out in the desert, somewhere in the ruins. If you're going to look for him, I'll ask the monks to unlock the abbey gate. You may come and go as you like. Our abbey is protected against the undead, so you can use this place as a refuge, and I'll help however I can.
If I'm looking for Simeon, where's a good place to start?
There's another set of ruins close to the abbey, set back into a gorge. That's the only place the monks have ever seen him. I don't think he wanders any farther into the desert.
Can you tell me what else is out there?
A temple, abandoned for centuries. They say that it's guarded by old magic from the time of the Empire. There's also a cave, the source of an ancient spring. One of our monks spends most of his time there.
Why would this monk spend his days in a cave?
Eridai is very old. Older than Simeon. He's been here longer than any of us. He believes that the cave is more than it seems. He thinks it's the reason that the temple and the vault were built here.
You seem eager to help us. I'm a little surprised.
All these years, I thought the Legion was gone, but I always admired them and what they stood for. When I was little, I read every book in our library that had even a mention of the Legion. A childish obsession, that's what...
Thank you. I'm sure I'll see you again.
Please tell Simeon that he is missed, and he's always welcome to...
These are the bones of our patron, Saint Hiram.
Pardon me. Could I speak with you? We're not supposed to ask favors of our guests, but I need your help, and I can't tell the other monks.
All right.
A few weeks ago, a traveler came to the Abbey. His name was Marlowe. He spoke well, dressed well. In short, he seemed a gentleman of quality, and I grew fond of him. He told me that he felt the same. But he had debts, or so he said. He begged me for coins from our treasury, so one night I stole the key.
You believed his story? Why?
He reminded me of home. My father was Lord of Drakenberg, until Jane took the city and murdered my family. Marlowe treated me like a lady at court. He knew all the right words to say. I should have seen him for what he was, but I didn't want the charade to end. I was stupid, and I'm sorry.
Let me guess. This Marlowe was really a thief.
As soon as I opened the treasury door, he struck me, knocked me unconscious. Marlowe must have known what he wanted from the start. A golden chalice that belonged to Saint Hiram. He took the chalice and left everything else. Our brother treasurer doesn't even know it's gone. Not yet. I beg of you, find Marlowe and bring back the chalice. I'll put it back in the treasury, and no one will ever know.
Do you think he's heading south? Back to Ebb?
No. There's any number of scoundrels in the desert. Maybe he's planning to sell the chalice to one of them. Marlowe is smart. I think he'll stay near the Abbey until he finds a buyer. He won't risk carrying the chalice for long. He left the gate unlocked behind him, so I know he went east. And it's only been a few days. He can't have gone far.
A nest of thieves. Why, I think they've mistaken us for easy prey. Collegium won't call my elixirs untested.